Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a routine diplomatic mission. Pretty standard stuff, right?
Right.
And then it just spirals into this chilling tale. We're talking biological warfare, ancient secrets, even some unexpected heroism popping up.
Exactly. Today's deep dive pulls us into a really complex web of intrigue, and it's all centered around this seemingly desolate Star Wars planet called Nam Chorios.
Nam Chorios, yeah, sounds pretty bleak.
It does, but our sources paint this vivid picture. You've got a galaxy grappling with political unrest, technology being misused in scary ways, and the surprising sentience hidden right beneath the surface of the world.
So our mission for you today is to navigate these layers of deception, try and figure out who the real players are, and understand these deep connections between what seems like a forgotten prison planet and, well, the stability of the whole galaxy.
And what's really fascinating here, I think, is how these events that look totally isolated, they're actually tied to a much bigger picture.
Yeah, and you see the personal journeys of characters we know
Familiar faces, yeah.
intersecting with this struggle for, the planet's very soul. It's pretty intense.
It really is. And our story kicks off with something genuinely unsettling happening far away from Nam Chorios itself, actually.
Right. Not on the planet yet. Where are we?
We open on the New Republic escort cruiser, the Adamantine, and there's this midshipman, Koth Barak, found really ill. He's just slumped over an info log screen. Think of it like a high-tech galactic data pad.
Okay, just collapse.
Yeah, collapsed. And soon after, other crew members start showing the same symptoms. Gunnery Sergeant Gally Wover, Commander Zoylan.
Yeah.
It hits them fast, affects their breathing, they collapse. It's spreading quickly.
So not just like a random bug going around the ship. This sounds serious. Did the medical droids figure out what it was?
Oh, yeah. And what they found was chilling. The droids confirmed it was the Death Seed Plague.
The Death Seed. Isn't that ancient history? Something wiped out ages ago.
Exactly. A scourge they believed was totally eradicated centuries back. So this alarming discovery, it immediately signals that this whole diplomatic mission to Nam Chorios, it's way more dangerous than anyone thought.
Wow. Okay. Like a ghost from the past?
Precisely. It's a stark reminder, Threats you assume are buried, they can just resurface. Turns a diplomatic trip into a fight for survival.
Right. So with this terrifying plague suddenly back in play, our focus shifts to Leia Organa Solo. She's heading the diplomatic mission to Nam Chorios. And this planet, it's got this desolate look, but there's a darker history hiding there, right? One she's about to walk right into.
Oh, absolutely. Nam Chorios is introduced as, barren, hostile. Historically, the Grismath dynasty used it as a prison planet. Ruthless bunch, the Grismath.
Prison planet.
And somehow, descendants of both the prisoners and the guards managed to survive there for 700 years, even after the Grismath homeworld Meridian became just charred radioactive waste.
Jeez. So generations living on this harsh world.
Yeah, and Leia knew about it. She knew Palpatine had used it as a prison world too, so its grim reputation was definitely known.
And it's there, on this grim world, that Leia meets Seti Ashgad. He's the leader of this group, the Rationalist Party.
That's him, Seti Ashgad.
Yeah.
And he definitely has a compelling pitch for Leia.
What's he asking for? What's the story he gives her?
Well, he portrays the Oldtimers, who are actually Theran cultists, as these fanatical conservatives, stuck in the past.
Right, the standard line sometimes.
Exactly. He claims they control the planet's automated gun stations, big defensive things, and that they forbid any interplanetary trade. He says they're keeping the newcomers, the other group on the planet, in agricultural slavery.
Slavery, wow, that's a heavy accusation.
It is. So his plea is for New Republic help. He wants them to step in, open up trade, allow them to exploit the planet's resources, but he frames it like he wants to help everyone on Nam Chorios. Very polished, very humanitarian sounding.
But Leia,
yeah,
she's usually pretty good at sensing when something's off. Did you buy it?
Well, she had her, let's say, antenna up. She noticed some peculiarities, especially with Ashgad's secretary, this guy named Master Dzym.
Dzym, right, I remember reading about him. What was weird about him?
Leia just felt this distinct discomfort. The description's quite vivid. Neutral, unexceptional mouth, flattened-looking tan eyes that never seemed to blink.
Never seemed to blink. Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah, and she saw moments where Dzym would just stare off into space, like he was concentrating on some other matter entirely. Just subtle stuff, but really unsettling. A hint that maybe this guy wasn't just a secretary.
And on top of these weird vibes, Leia was already dealing with other warnings, right? Hidden agendas swirling around.
That's right. She got this clandestine message from Callista, an ally sensitive to the Force. The message was simple. Do not go to the Meridian sector.
Don't go. Pretty clear warning.
Very clear. But Leia felt pressure. She knew there was a leak in the Council back in the New Republic government, and this Rationalist Party, Ashgad's group, they had a surprising amount of political influence.
So pulling out wasn't easy.
Not politically, no. They had supporters both in the Republic and in nearly every piece of the Empire. So complex pressures.
And then there was Ashgad's honor guard. They weren't quite right either, were they? Leia's bodyguard noticed something.
Her Nogri bodyguard, Ezrak. Nogri have incredible senses, tracking abilities.
Right, the best.
And Ezrak remarked that these handsome, kind of androgynous individuals in light blue uniforms, they smell wrong. He said they are no living flesh.
No living flesh. What were they?
He nailed it. Synth droids, super expensive synthetic beings, androids basically, whose actions were all centrally controlled.
Centrally controlled. Okay, another huge red flag.
Yeah.
This is way beyond just political disagreement.
Absolutely. It suggests a much deeper, more technological deception. The whole benevolent facade Ashgad was projecting, it was definitely starting to crack for Leia.
And then, just as things are getting really tense, the plague catches up with Leia herself.
Yeah, the inevitable happens. She succumbs to the death seed symptoms, collapses right there in her stateroom on her flagship, the Borealis.
And that's when she's taken.
That's when she's kidnapped. It looks like Ashgad is behind it.
So she wakes up. Where? Still on the ship.
Yeah, she awakens in a house on Nam Chorios itself. And she realizes pretty quickly she's being drugged. Subtly, though. Through her water.
Drugged? How?
With something called sweet blossom. It's this really insidious substance, non-addictive, apparently, but it paralyzes her body while keeping her mind totally clear.
Oh, she can't escape physically, but she knows what's happening.
Exactly. But the truly nasty part is it also makes her forget her resolve. Like she decides to resist or escape, and then the drug just wipes that determination away. It even explained this fleeting feeling of ecstasy she'd felt earlier on the ship. It was the drug starting to work.
Wow, that's a terrifying level of control. Psychological and physical.
Completely calculated.
Yeah.
And during this captivity, who shows up but a Hutt?
A Hutt on Nam Chorios.
Yep. Beldorion the Splendid, apparently a former ruler of that area. And kind of unusually for a Hutt, he actually had some force ability, could move small objects with his mind.
A force-sensitive Hutt. Okay, that's different.
It is. And he was also excessively fond of these exotic, gene-spliced insect appetizers prepared by his Kubazi chef, Zubindi.
Gene-spliced insect appetizers. Ugh, okay. So things are getting weirder and weirder.
It definitely paints a picture of the, let's say, unnatural stuff going on there and the strange power dynamics at play.
But amidst all this weirdness and being drugged, Leia finds an ally. Someone unexpected.
She does. An unwilling one, really. It's Legis Sarpatris Varn. He's Ashgab's pilot, the one bringing Leia her food and water.
Ashgad's own pilot helps her.
Yeah. Leia senses his fear immediately. She realizes he is as much a prisoner here as I am. He feels trapped.
So what does he do?
In this quiet act of rebellion, really, he secretly swaps her drugged water for clean water, and he gives her a modified comlink. He expresses this deep guilt and says he trusts her.
Why him? Why was he chosen for this or manipulated into it?
Well, the text notes, kind of tragically, that his family would not miss him, which made him the perfect pawn for Ashgad. Expendable.
That's heartbreaking, but crucial for Leia.
Absolutely. A lifeline.
Okay, so while Leia's trapped in this bizarre captivity, Luke, obviously, is not just sitting around. He's looking for her.
Naturally. His search leads him straight to Nam Chorios, and he feels it immediately, even from orbit. This curious tingling in the Force.
A connection to the planet.
Something strong, yeah. But his arrival isn't smooth. His B-Wing fighter gets fired upon by those automated gun stations Ashgad mentioned.
The ones the Oldtimer supposedly controls.
Supposedly.
No.
And he gets caught in a Force storm.
A Force storm? What is that exactly?
It's this rare, really volatile manifestation of dark side energy. It can twist space, time. Incredibly dangerous. So, yeah, he crashes. Not exactly a gentle welcome to Nam Chorios.
Definitely not. But once he's on the ground, things don't get much better, do they? There are insects.
Oh, yeah. His first encounters on the surface are pretty disgusting. He immediately runs into drochs, small, parasitic, sort of purple-brown insects that literally burrow into his skin.
Yeah. Burrow into his skin.
Yeah. He sees the locals, like this guy Arvid Scraff, just casually flicking them away like it's nothing. They seem totally used to them.
But Luke is obviously repulsed.
Completely. And the chilling part, as you'll find out later, is that these aren't just annoying pests. These drochs, they're the source of the Death Seed plague.
No way. The little skin-burrowing bugs.
The very same. So the plague is literally crawling all over the place.
Okay, that's deeply unpleasant.
Yeah.
And besides killer insects, the planet itself has other weird stuff going on, right? Like ground lightning.
Yeah, another strange phenomenon. These racing blue electrical discharges that just shoot across the gravel surface.
Like lightning, but on the ground.
Exactly. The newcomers, like this character Umali Dharm, find it really disruptive, but the old-timers, they seem to handle it much better, almost like they're attuned to it.
Another sign of their connection to the planet.
Seems like it. And it's important to note, this ground lightning is different from those dangerous force storms Luke ran into. This seems more natural, if incredibly strange.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting, I think. As Luke is dealing with killer bugs and ground lightning, he starts to figure out the real nature of Nam Chorios.
Yes. This is the core of it.
It's not just a rock, it's alive.
That's the profound discovery. The planet's mountains aren't just rock, they're made of sentient crystals. They're called sills, or sometimes guardians. And there are other crystals in the hills called spook crystals.
Sentient crystals, like thinking rocks.
Essentially, yes.
Oh.
Deeply connected to the Force. The sources describe them as the planet's heartbeat and its soul, and they communicate directly with Luke into his mind.
What do they tell him?
They share this ancient history. How they were formed by the sea, fed by the planet's core, and how they've been alive for all time. It's this incredible revelation of planetary consciousness.
Wow, a living planet. But these guardians, these Teetzels,
Yeah.
they're not exactly having a good time, are they? Luke picks up on something else.
No, they're not passive. They communicate this deep tide of anger to Luke. They reveal they were taken and enslaved.
Enslaved. How do you enslave a mountain?
A part of their minds, they describe it as their brother self, was literally ripped away from the whole and subjected to this horrible electronic realignment. Their consciousness was basically hacked, rewired.
That's horrific. Rewired for what?
To be used as components. They're imprisoned inside technology. Specifically, inside those needles these weapons we'll hear more about, and also inside the synth droids.
The same synth droids from Ashgad's Honor Guard.
The very same ones Ezrak smelled were wrong. So, the planet's living essence, its soul, is being brutally exploited and forced to power weapons and androids. It's technological enslavement on a planetary scale.
Unbelievable. So knowing this, knowing the planet is alive and enslaved, the whole conspiracy starts to make a horrible kind of sense. Who's ultimately pulling the strings?
It traces back to the Lorenar Corporation. Leia uncovers their plan while she's captive. They intend to build this big facility on a nearby world, Antimeridius.
To build what?
Two things. More synthroids, powered by the enslaved souls, and these things called needles.
Needles? What are they?
Yeah. The description is pretty chilling. They're programmable, long-distance mini-weapons with infinite range and hyperspace rendezvous capability. Think hyper-advanced, self-guiding missiles that can go anywhere.
And they're powered by the crystals, too.
Yes, specifically controlled by the same CCIR crystals. And those CCIR crystals, they're the spook crystals, ripped from the hills of Nam Chorios, corrupted and enslaved.
So Lorenar wants to mass-produce these crystal-powered superweapons and androids. And Ashgad, he's just helping them.
He's not just helping, he's actively selling out his entire planet. Leia finds out he's basically handed Nam Chorios over to Lorenar for strip mining. They're going to tear the planet apart for its sentient heart.
The guy who claimed he wanted to help everyone.
Total betrayal. And worse, he's the one who orchestrated the release of the Death Seed plague. It wasn't just some accident or ancient evil resurfacing on its own.
He released the plague deliberately.
To destabilize the sector. It's spreading through the New Republic fleet, causing chaos. He coordinated this with Imperial remnants Moff Gatels and Admiral Larm. It's a joint effort for profit and power, using biological warfare as a tool.
Unbelievable. Corporate greed, imperial ambition, and bioterrorism all wrapped up together.
Exactly. Ashgad's whole political act was just a cover.
Okay, we have to circle back to Master Dun. Ashgad's creepy, unblinking secretary. What was his deal in all this? His true identity must be connected.
Oh, it's connected, and it is profoundly disturbing. This might be the weirdest reveal. Dus isn't human or even humanoid. He is a hormonally altered, mutated, and vastly overgrown 250-year-old droch.
Wait, a droch? like the skin-burrowing insect.
The very same, just huge, mutated, and ancient, and intelligent.
How is that even possible?
Apparently, he was originally created by Beldorian's Krabazi chef Zubindi as one of those exotic appetizers.
An appetite.
Yeah. But somehow this droch gained intelligence, became sentient, and then enslaved his creator Zubindi. And then he went on to enslave Beldorian the Hutt himself.
The Hutt with the Force powers. Enslaved by a giant insect.
Seems so. And Dzym is the one controlling the Death Seed plague. He uses it to drain life energy, literally feeding off the true life, true energy of others. He's linked to those weird necrotic patches seen on the synth droids, and he's the intelligence behind the plague's spread.
So the little parasite became the monster pulling the strings behind the scenes. The ultimate puppet master.
In a truly grotesque way, yes. The small, disgusting problem was actually running the show.
Okay, that explains Dzym. Now what about the old-timers, the Theran cultists? Ashgad called them fanatics. But if Ashgad's the villain, what was their real story?
Their story gets completely flipped. They weren't fanatics trying to hold the planet back. They were actually influenced by the Tsills, the Guardians.
The sentient crystal spoke to them too.
Through the dreams of their prophet, Theras, generations ago, the cells guided them. And their rules forbidding large ships, forbidding external trade, weren't about being conservative. It was about protection.
Protection from what?
To stop the drochs, the Death Seed, from getting off the planet. And to stop large cargoes from coming in, because those cargoes could bring the technology and resources needed to exploit the planet and enslave the Guardians further.
So they were trying to quarantine the plague and protect the planet's soul.
Exactly. They were the protectors, not the oppressors. Just tragically misunderstood and maligned for centuries, mostly thanks to people like Ashgad.
Right. So the truth is out, the players are revealed. It all leads to the climax. There's a fight at one of the gun stations, Bleak Point.
Yeah, Ashgad's rationalists attack the station. And amidst this chaos, a massive force storm erupts. It's fueled partly by Beldorian, the Hutt, losing control of his power, and also by Luke's own powerful presence interacting with the planet's stressed state.
And Luke's in the middle of this storm.
Right in the thick of it. But it's in that chaos that he finally fully connects with the Sills. He understands their pain, their enslavement, on a deep level.
And can he do anything? Can he help them?
He can. This connection becomes the key. Luke consciously channels the Force through the Sills. He reaches out to those enslaved crystal minds trapped inside the Lorinar needles.
The weaponized crystals.
Yes. And through Luke's guidance, they turn. The needles are commanded to target Ashgad's own command ship, the Reliant, and also an Imperial carrack that's docking with it, carrying Moff Katel's.
So the weapons turn on their makers.
Exactly. The resulting explosion is massive. It takes out Ashgad's ship, Katel's invasion force is thwarted before it can even start, and crucially, it contains the Death Seed plague, preventing a wider galactic outbreak. The enslaved literally become the saviors, thanks to Luke's connection.
Incredible. And while Luke is doing that, Leia's not idle. She's free from the Sweet Blossom now.
She's clear-headed, yes. And she takes decisive action. She finds and destroys the CCIR Central Control Unit.
The thing controlling the synth droids.
Precisely. Destroying it causes all the synth droids and the enslaved Sills within them to just collapse, instantly inert. Their link is broken.
Freeing those crystal minds, too.
Freeing those fragments. Then Leia escapes her captivity and confronts Ashgad directly. She manages to secure the data detailing all his treachery, making sure his crimes and Lorinar's plot are fully exposed.
Nice. Taking down the mastermind. So the immediate crisis is over. Ashgad's plot foiled. Plague contained. What happens next? What are the new beginnings?
Well, first the plague is contained, which is huge. And the plan to strip mine Nam Chorios is stopped dead. Most importantly, the Sills, the Guardians, are freed. Their minds, trapped in the needles and synthroids, are released. Their ancient consciousness is whole again, free to sing its song, so to speak.
That's amazing for the planet itself. What about the people, the old-timers and newcomers?
There's a shift. With Callista's help, she decides to stay on Nam Chorios for a while. The Therans, the old-timers, they change their focus. They start working with the newcomers, mining valuable but non-sentient resources like rock ivory and platinum, finding a way to coexist and prosper sustainably.
So a path towards healing for the society there, too.
Definitely. And Callista finds her own path there, exploring the Force in connection with this living planet. She finds peace, especially knowing Luke is safe.
Any other loose ends tied up? What about the pilot, Legis?
Ah, yes. A surprisingly poignant moment. Legis is eventually reunited with Admiral Dala.
Dala, the Imperial Admiral. There's a connection.
A deep one, it turns out. Their love survived years of separation and deception. His actions, which seemed like weakness or collaboration with Ashgad, are recontextualized. It's understood he made painful sacrifices, partly to help Dala in some way, and also to protect Leia when he had the chance. His quiet courage is finally recognized.
Wow, okay. Didn't see that coming.
It adds another layer of personal drama resolved. And finally, you have Han and Leia. They've been through the ringer again.
As usual.
As usual. But they're resilient. They're ready for their next adventure, their bond, maybe even strengthened by surviving this whole ordeal. The personal stories stay woven into the big galactic events.
Yeah, always.
So this whole deep dive into Nam Chorios, it really shows how interconnected everything in the galaxy is, doesn't it? You've got ancient history, bioweapons, shady corporations, political maneuvering, and the living consciousness of a planet all tangled together.
It's a powerful reminder, too, that truth can come from unexpected places, that you need to look beyond the surface.
Exactly. Information from unlikely sources or even just paying attention to those unsettling feelings can reveal astonishing things.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening right now? It definitely raises a question for me. What hidden truths might be waiting in the backwaters of our own understanding? Things we overlook. If only we learned to listen a bit closer. Or maybe, like Luke, to feel the vibrations of something much older, much deeper, that we usually ignore.